You guys are gonna love this insane engine bay transformation, how I went from this to this. Yo, what is up everybody? Welcome back to Joe's Garage, and if you're returning to my channel from the WD collaboration, thank you for coming to check out a Subaru Saturday. Right behind me is the Impreza 2.5 RS, and we made some really awesome progress this week. I got the engine bay completely sandblasted down, prepped, and sprayed with Eastwood Rust Encapsulator Plus. This product is supposed to stop rust in its tracks, and I can't wait to see how it works. If you want a sneak peek, just take a look right behind me, but if you want to see the entire process, make sure to watch this video. Thanks for tuning in, and let's get right to it. So just when I thought I was done sandblasting, I started to play around with some of this seam sealer here that was kind of loose, and as I peeled it back, I realized there was a ton of rust under here, so I actually have to get the sandblaster back out, blast all the jams in the seams where there was bad seam sealer, and then I'm going to go ahead and recoat it with some new seam sealer I got from Eastwood, and I'm going to do all of that after I get this knocked down, coat it in the encapsulator paint so none of this surface rust shows back up. If you can see, there is a few spots here and in various locations where the rust was a little worse, showing back up on the engine bay. So what we're gonna do is break out the sandblaster, knock these few seams down so the rust is gone, hit anywhere where rust started to show again, and then we're able to start prepping this engine bay for some of this rust encapsulator paint. And without taking too much time, we're gonna just go ahead, bust these out with the sandblaster, and I'll show you guys what that looks like after. All right, so everywhere where the seam sealer was bad and rust was underneath it, I did sandblast it down. I'm just gonna show you guys quickly what that looks like. I also hit it with a wire brush that I was using on my DeWalt impact gun. I just did a quick job just to completely knock out any of the seam sealer and rust that I was able to hit with it. I hit all the way down this line, I hit it here. We did this seam right here, all the way down this line, and we did the entire strut tower because I was just kind of curious how bad the rust was underneath the seam in the strut tower, but it actually came out really clean. I think that, you know, this is acceptable. Now there is some rust in here that I'm not able to get to. It's not perfect. This is like the best we're gonna get it. I think these results are gonna be really good. So what we're gonna do now is use some encapsulating spray. It's Eastwood brand, Rust Encapsulator Plus. It's a newer one. It's supposed to be really good. If you're knocked down to the bare metal, it should do a really nice job of keeping it from rusting again. Earlier, you guys heard me talking about the seam sealer. I do have some Eastwood seam sealer, but I'm able to put the seam sealer on after the encapsulator. The reason why we're doing that is because this will rust again. If I let this sit for another week like I have, like this has been a week since I touched it because we were doing the Maserati and we had a lot of other work to do. I wasn't able to get this coated. Once this is in the encapsulator, we're able to do the seams with the sealer, and then we're able to really prime this and have it completed, ready for spraying. And we're gonna actually see how good the encapsulator is. If it starts to show rust after it's encapsulated, obviously we're gonna have to do some more work, but I think this is gonna be okay. So my next step is actually gonna be scuffing. Well, you know what, I guess I should say this. I'm gonna mask off everything I don't wanna hit with the encapsulator. There's not much, but a few rubber pieces that I just wanna cleanly tape off and a couple holes that I'm gonna cover. Nothing crazy, just a really quick job masking some things off. We are gonna scuff everything. We're gonna spray with the encapsulator. I'm gonna set the camera up, mask this off, knock it down, and then we're just gonna spray this thing. I'm gonna show you guys the finished results, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so what you guys just saw me do is knock everything down, all the bare metal with the Scotch-Brite pad. That's that scuffing step. And the very last thing we need to do was I just blew off all the dirt, and now I'm gonna go ahead and wipe it down with a brand new shop rag and some final clean or first clean just to get any oil or grease off of it. And then we're good to spray. We're gonna mix up the encapsulator paint and spray this thing and see how it comes out. I'm hoping for some good results. I'm not banking on it though. It's the first time I've ever used this product. Curious to see how it comes out. Let's just go ahead and get this done. Okay, so I just wanted to show you, even though it all looks so clean, here's 2 rags that you can just see the amount of dirt on these bad boys. It's crazy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the camera, get the final shot of the engine bay stripped down, because after this, we're gonna have a matte black engine bay and it will no longer look like shiny metal. But I'm ready to get this done and move on to the next stage. Once this is encapsulated, I can kind of leave the engine bay alone for a little bit, start to strip down the rest of the car, and then do the same thing everywhere else. If you're watching and enjoying this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe right now. Thank you, I really appreciate it. Let's mix up some paint and get this thing sprayed. All right, so what we're using is Rust Encapsulator Plus Matte Black. This is an Eastwood product. I love Eastwood and I use a lot of their stuff. I'm just gonna mix this up really quick, shake it up really nice. All right, so this stuff is supposed to stop any rust from spreading after it's knocked down. You can't just spray it over rust. I don't believe in that. But if you knock it down like I did with the sandblaster or wire brush it, whatever, make sure the rust is knocked down, then you can use this stuff and it will slow the rust down. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but we're gonna find out. This is about $25. All I have to lose is that and all the work I did stripping the engine bay. You're able to use lacquer thinner to thin this stuff out. It is pretty thick. We're gonna mix some up, put it in the gun and just go for it. I have no clue how it's gonna come out, but we're gonna find out. Oh yeah, that's a nice deep black. Looks nice and thick. We're gonna go ahead and just use half of the can right in this mixing cup. So that's about half. This should be plenty to coat the whole engine. I'm just gonna go for it with some thinner. Something to do though, pro tip real quick, blow off the top of this can before you go to dump it, because guess what? You'll go to dump it and that'll all fall right into the paint. It's at about 20%, so let's say if that was 100%, just a little bit is needed. Oh, I saw some dirt. That's it. As you can see, just gonna mix it up. It is much thinner now. I hope that I didn't thin it too much. I think we should be okay. We're just gonna go ahead and add some more of this. Like I said, guys, all I have to lose is the $25 I spent on the paint and all the time I spent stripping the engine bay. Yeah, that's a little thicker. I'm cool with that. Here we go. I did clean my paint gun too before I started this. See, we're gonna fill up the whole thing. Looks like enough to fill the entire thing. Okay guys, I am gonna try and get you the best footage of me spraying this. I'm a little afraid that overspray will get on the camera because it really generally gets everywhere. So the camera's not gonna be right on where I'm spraying, but I'm gonna do my best to just get you guys some clean footage of that. All right, it's going okay so far. One thing I did realize right away was, this is a long story, but the pressure was too high with the air. It's getting a heavy spray. So right now I just grabbed another hose because we had to cut one of our hoses. Like I said, it's a long story short, but I have this other hose hooked up now that will actually give me less pressure. And I think that will give me a better result laying it down. I am having some like heavy spots. You can see over here, I put too much down there. It's gonna dry matte. This will all dry evenly. It won't be glossy, but so far it looks incredible. Yeah, it's obviously not too thin. A little tacky in some places, already drying up. But I'm gonna go ahead and finish up all the places I need to finish up. Let's try this with the lower pressure now. See what we get. Oh, that's so much better. You live and learn, right guys? Much better with the lower pressure. I probably wasted so much paint. Alrighty, so we're finished spraying this engine bay, and I think it came out pretty good for, you know, this is pretty much my first time ever doing something like this. I've never really had an engine bay stripped down to nothing and then sprayed that, so I think it came out pretty good. There was some dust in the air. It's still drying, so I can't see the finished results. I'm sorry guys, we're gonna have to end it before I can even show you it completely dry in its matte finish. But for the most part, I think it looks great. The paint laid down really nice after I fixed the air pressure, and we still have about half a can. So if I need to do another coat later on, we will. But right now, I'm super happy about it. We're gonna find out together how good this Eastwood rust encapsulator is, because if any of the rust shows, we're gonna know that, okay, maybe it wasn't as good as advertised. But I can't wait to find out. In next week's video, I'll show you the actual finished results with the engine bay dry and start doing some of the seam sealer and other things I need to do to finish up this engine bay so we can start moving on to the rest of the 2.5 RS. I'm super excited about that. Getting this done makes me feel like we got some serious progress done. Even though I know I'm always moving forward and getting more and more done, it just feels really good to actually get somewhere this far. And yes, I know I still have some more to do, but we're gonna do it together, guys, and I'm super excited about it. From here on out, doing this car, this restoration project, it's really all new to me. So we're doing it together, we're learning as we go. I'm no professional. I'm super pumped to see how this comes out. We have a little bit more to do to finish this engine bay, but that's gonna be in the next coming videos. Make sure to check those out, because we're out of here for this one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next Subaru Saturday, or anything you tune into my channel for. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon. Peace out.